Hey guys, it's Danny. Now I have found that the more time you take to learn about clean ingredients, the easier and more exciting it becomes to keep your kitchen clean and delicious. So today I am going to tell you everything you need to know about acorn squash. Acorn squash is a variety of winter squash that is closely related to butternut squash and spaghetti squash. They call it acorn squash because it looks a lot like a big acorn. It has these ridged sides and then it comes to a point at the bottom and the top is a little bit flatter. Now you can find these in green like the ones I have here. Sometimes they're orange and sometimes they are a mix of the two colors, but no matter what color they are all considered acorn squash. Nutritionally speaking, acorn squash is high in vitamin A and vitamin C, and it's loaded with antioxidants. So you've got a high nutrient ingredient that is also low in calories. 1 cup of acorn squash is only about 60 calories. Now for the part that's most important, the flavor. So acorn squash has a very mild flavor. It's a little bit nutty. It pairs really well with ingredients like maple syrup, bacon, sage, nuts, nutmeg, even cinnamon. You can see that the flesh is this light orange yellowish color and it's firm. It tends to be a little bit more dense and dry than a butternut squash. Now when it comes to cooking, acorn squash likes to be steamed, sauteed, roasted, or baked. Now you can usually find them in the grocery store most of the year, but their peak season tends to be October and November, and that's really important to know because when you buy your produce in season, it's going to have the best flavor, which is really important, the highest nutritional value, and you're going to get the best cost. So it really pays off to buy your fruits and your vegetables when they're in season. 1 pound of squash is going to get you about 2 servings, and what you want to look for is a nice firm squash. You don't want it to have any squishy or spongy spots on it. And if you can find one that still has the stem intact, that is a great sign that you are getting yourself a nice fresh squash. Once you get them home, you just want to store them in a cool, dry place. This time of year, I usually just leave them right on the counter and that is perfectly fine. And you'll find that they will last a good 3 to 4 weeks before you need to use them. Now, when you're ready to work with your squash, what you're gonna do is take a nice thin slice off the top. That's gonna give us a stable area to work with. Then I'm gonna lay it on that flat side, use my knife to cut it in half straight down the middle. And just take your time. Some squashes are harder to get through than others. I like to get the point in and then push down and then get the other side. Now, once the squash is open, what you're gonna see is it has a bunch of little seeds in it, just like a butternut squash does. And remember that these seeds, just like all seeds from your winter squash, can be roasted just like pumpkin seeds. And if you want a reminder on how to do that, make sure you check out that video right over there. So from here, I'm just gonna scoop out all my seeds, and this is your basic acorn squash preparation. So now let me show you a great starter recipe using your acorn squash. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Then place your squash skin side up on a rimmed baking sheet that has been slightly coated with a little cooking spray or some coconut oil. Pop it in the oven for 25 minutes. Take it out, flip it over, then place 1 teaspoon of butter into the center of each squash half and drizzle with a little bit of maple syrup. You're gonna use about a tablespoon of maple syrup between both halves. Season with some salt, black pepper, and a kiss of nutmeg. Pop the whole thing back in the oven for another 10 minutes until the butter has melted and the squash is golden brown and tender. Now you can eat this just the way it is. It's absolutely amazing. Or you could throw in a big dollop of plain Greek yogurt, top it with a few chopped pecans, and have this seriously, insanely delicious breakfast option. If you guys like this video, then please like it and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a new video or recipe. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'm Danny Spees, and I will see you next time with some more clean and deliciousness. The bottom comes to a point and then the flat all the way from the top. Here we go. Excellent. Plus, it's rich and poof. Here we go. Just like that. Oh, like touching. Acorn squash is boom.